Second question is from Heather Ledesma in the comments. And this is another one that's kind of, I think, aimed for you, Edgar, because I know you mentioned bringing people out. But yeah, so she said, my question is, how were you able to bring other members out? I get a lot of people asking me how they can get their loved ones out, and I'm curious how you were able to do it.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So, I can give like an exact, I know I answered her comment, her question on the comment section. I'm going to kind of give the same answer, but I just want to mention that there's no solid way or a way that works 100% to get someone out. At the end of the day, it comes down to the individual and, God's providence. But I would say that one thing that helps me out a lot is, just first seeing, like, do they really want to know who God is? Or do they think, are they the kind of people that feel that they know everything, that they have all the knowledge in the world and they cannot be taught anything? It's very hard to get across to someone like that, because like speaking to a brick wall. They have to value God and truth over everything, even be wanting to even risk it all in order to know that they have the true God, that they have the true gospel. And people like that will listen, even if it's not pleasant at first, but they will listen. And second of all, you got to do a lot of prayer. I pray a lot for all the people that that I talk to, and hope that God opens their hearts and their minds, to the message. And then also you have to be willing to listen to them, hear them out. Also, we don't want to come across as, I know it all and I'm always right and you're always wrong. No, my thing is, let the Bible do the talking. Right? God's word is the ultimate authority, and it's what helps us. It's what helped me. And then, the last thing is, we have to be ready to give answers, even to those tough questions. And, obviously it's not easy. Sometimes you're going to get put on the spot, but it's not supposed to be easy. That's why as Christians, we have to realize how blessed we are, having the scriptures in totality, as to where you look at, the early church 2,000 years ago, they were carrying around one letter, two letters, and, struggling to get them across churches, being persecuted, being put to death, and God blessed us with having the whole, Bible. And so we should not take that lightly, but we should study it, and in the Bible has all the answers. And so that would be my suggestion of what I found has worked for me so far.
Okay. And so that was another question from Rachel Smith, who in the comments asked a similar question. That's a question I get a lot. That is probably the hardest question to answer, because like you were saying, there really isn't like a one size fits all answer to that. And there's not one method that's going to work every time. And unfortunately, I think the unfortunate reality is there's really not a whole lot you can do except for be patient and talk to them when the opportunities present themselves in a compassionate, a respectful, humble way. And I think in many cases it takes time, it takes years, and that's very unfortunate. I think trying to point them, hopefully to get them to watch videos or something that would stir up questions, that would just kind of start a process of questions in their minds, I think would be good as well. Kelsey, did you have any thoughts on it? Yes.
Yeah. One thing, because I get that question so many times, but I think also like another good thing to help them kind of like realize, because cognitive dissonance is it's a real thing within high demand groups, and that's where cognitive dissonance is where like you can show them 101 101 different types of evidence that this group isn't who they say they are, or their teachings aren't as accurate as they claim to be, but the cognitive dissonance, like it pushes something in their mind that they can't see the evidence for what it is. And so, so sometimes presenting them facts, like, or sending them, you know, all this material about like the, you know, what former members or what, you know, like theologians say about the doctrine. And so one thing that I found that's pretty helpful is to remind the person about their life before the church, the things that they like to do. So if you have like a son or daughter, or like a family, just a general family member in the church, you know, remind them of the things that they like to do. If they like to go hiking before the church, take them on a hike, you know, just them, reminding them of what they like to do before plants in their mind, like, oh, I enjoyed this, I want to do more of this. But, and you know, that can spark their wanting to leave as well. And I wanted to like, I know Steve Hassan is a controversial figure in the World Mission Society Church of God. The church trashes his name, but he is a legitimate cult expert, like Rick Ross and John Jalalik, you know, all those people. But
we should have him on sometime.
Yeah, we should. But his book, this book, Combating Cult Mind Control, this one it has so many tips on what to do to try to help your family members leave. So, you know, I really recommend, you know, checking this book out and checking, even if you don't read the whole book, at least read the chapters about, you know, helping people leave, because it's been pretty helpful from the people that I've talked to who have been able to successfully get their family members out of not only the World Mission Society Church of God, but other high demand groups as well.